Welcome, Capsuleer, to the University Engineering Program, or EEP. This video tutorial will introduce you to the standard first recon procedures for the Collaborative Ship Construction Simulation, or COUSCOUS, held at one of our local hidden belt facilities. This video will detail the standard first area recon tech procedures. These procedures are applicable only if you find yourself in a first recon position, i.e., you are the first engineer at the site, or much more likely, if you wish to establish your own Satellite User Excavation Site, or SUX, away from the primary construction site, i.e., you want to set up your own base at your own asteroid. If you are not First Recon, and if you wish to participate in the cooperative construction only, then you should simply clone jump to the medical bay at the primary construction site and make use of the group facilities there. As a First Recon, or as a SUX starter, you will instead be warped to the site in your Engineering Warpless Workship, or EW. This ship and the contents of its container will provide you all of the necessary materials to establish a self-sufficient base of operations. If you don't see any asteroids at first, then don't panic. Remember that this program is designed to simulate insertion into a hostile and low-resource working environment, and just like the shitty insertion gates out in nullsec, they have a tendency to toss you a bit forward of the target site. So be sure to look around first, especially behind you, before you start jetting off in any particular random direction. You should find at least one or two nearby asteroids, and approaching them may bring the remainder of the cluster into view. If you are extremely unlucky and are not within visual range of any roids at the site at all, then just remember that you are a Capsuleer, and that simulation clone respawns are already paid for. Just hit backspace and respawn again in a new EW starter ship. That's pretty much the only asteroid in view, so let's head there. You can see as we arrive that more of the cluster should come into view. The primary COUSCOUS construction site will almost always be at the largest asteroid, often near the center of the cluster. If someone else had performed proper first recon procedures, then you should already see a beacon pinpointing the site. But if you are first recon, then you will have to find and establish the initial base at this location yourself. If you wish instead to establish your own SUX, then instead try to ensure that you choose a satellite asteroid, or your base may be forcibly recycled. Don't worry, all of the large satellite asteroids caught in the primary's gravity well have sufficient materials for you to establish your own station, or even create your own major construction project. For this demonstration, we will assume that we are performing first recon duties, and we will try to find the primary asteroid in this cluster and start up the primary base of operations, or BOO. We have found the primary asteroid, and as expected, it is the largest gravitational attractor in this cluster, and should provide us with sufficient materials for our main construction effort. Because this is a simulated hostile environment, we should find out if it has an accessible interior. Initiating operations within the roid will help to shield us from dangers such as meteoroids and other corporations. Unlike some other easier simulated environments, where meteoroids may only approach from the star's direction, meteoroids here may approach us from any direction. So it is best if we can take as much asteroid cover as possible, while still allowing enough space for station construction. To begin, note that you have supplies stored within your ship's basic supplies container. Take these, and remember your engineering training. Begin with the two essentials for self-sufficiency, a station with a generator and a medical bay. Remember to recharge your suit in your EW cockpit if and when necessary. It may take a bit of time and some amount of materials transfer to complete these two first essential systems. It may take a bit more time if at first you don't realize that the reason you can't build is because you brought the wrong materials. Now that we've completed our generator and medbay, we have a new method to recharge our suit energy and also a clone respawning point. We can safely pull our uranium fuel from our ship and install it into our station. Let's now begin construction of the final two systems needed to achieve full self-sufficiency, the refinery and the assembler. We'll just extend the station a bit to make room for them. First, our refinery. But wait a minute, we still need 3 motors and 3 large steel tubes, and we don't have those in our basic supplies container. Don't panic. Remember what I said earlier, that the ship and the contents of its container will provide you with the materials you need. That's right, whip out your grinder, because it's time to start salvaging your E-UNI. We emptied the ship's generator and we're not using it anymore, and look, it will provide us with 1 motor and 1 large steel tube. Let's crunch it. And maybe also the conveyor and a couple of thrusters. We still need 1 motor. Let's crunch, the landing gear. The refinery is done. Now it's time for the assembler. Just like earlier, our ship will provide us the parts that we don't already have. Don't forget to recharge your suit energy when you need to. You have a functional medbay now. Don't forget to empty containers before you crunch them. If you make a mistake but catch yourself in time, then you could always rebuild it, look inside, empty it out, and then crunch it again. The assembler is functional now, but it's not yet structurally complete. We need a few more plates, but, well, there's still a few armor plates left on the ship. Let's go ahead and just finish it up. And that's it. We have all the basics for EEP self-sufficiency. We can start construction of our first small utility ship, just like you learned in engineering training, and we can begin gathering the raw ores needed to build the materials for ship construction, just like you learned in the Core Resource Acquisition Program, or CRAP. So bust out that drill and polish up your hand mining skills, and start collecting all those crap floater ores. Also, don't forget to create a starting beacon. If you are the first area Recon tech, then part of your farting process is to mark your territory for your EEP colleagues. If instead you are a suck starter, then you will want to claim the Roid with your own beacon. Good luck, and don't fail.